Welcome to the HVAC Jerks with your hosts, Rich, Kevin, and Joe. You can email these guys at theboys@thehvacjerks.com.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the HVAC Jerks. My name is Rich. I'm here with Kevin and Joe, and we're still your hosts regardless of what you may have heard out there. We talk about everything in the HVAC industry that we find interesting, from news and events to new products and techniques to things that you guys suggest and more. So if you don't know us yet, I'm sorry, but now you've been exposed, and now you have to come back every week and listen to us. So Kevin, what path of least resistance are you going to lead us down this week?
There
we go.
Without any problems. Go, Rich.
Now we've introduced sound effects.
Oh man. So we were talking about some verbiage. I think we were touching on that topic and how to talk to people. And so I'm gonna say that how many times have you had a customer tell you that their furnace is leaking water?
Yeah.
And you get there and it's a boiler, or vice versa, things of that nature, right? So, homeowners are not, they don't necessarily know what you're talking about. So, as we walk in the door, we need to try to understand where they're coming from and their lack of knowledge, and hopefully explain it correctly and try to correct them,
And certainly things that you should never say to a customer.
Like, it's going to blow up. This thing's a piece of shit.
Right.
How much did you pay for this?
You really bought one of those?
Or
Wow,
some
those
things never to discuss.
What was the name of the company that was here last week?
Right.
Those guys suck.
Right. There's just some things you should never talk about. Try never discuss politics. Try never to discuss a sports team.
Now, we can discuss politics.
We
here.
can, yeah.
You
But
get away with sports.
yeah, only if you
lightly.
like the same guy, but they
But
don't.
don't show them your Boston
Right.
Red Sox tattoo.
Try not to wear any. Try not to wear any sports stuff going into a homeowner stuff, so that you don't create
Listen,
confrontation.
If you're going to do a service call and you're wearing FUBU or something like that,
No, the problem is there's a lot of people
Yankee
who
jersey or something.
are like psychos on sports teams. You just can't,
true. Sure.
I get it.
they have no life, so their sports team is their life.
You get that with everything. Yep. All subjects.
Certainly religion is a taboo. And never try to badmouth the equipment. That's not a good thing either.
Man, we had a guy one time that went to somebody's house, and this guy just went in there and was like, "Oh man, I can't believe. Look at this. This isn't right. That's not right. I can't believe who did this. This is horrible. This is horrible." And the homeowner got pissed.
Yeah,
and
or
walked
certainly
out of the room, and later to find out that her brother installed it. So
I think a phrase like walking in, "Wow, did a cow shit in here?" might not go over well either.
Man, this house stinks.
But how about you're an employer. What happens when your guys goes into a house to fix something and complains, just like you just said, and it turns out one of your other guys was there right before him?
Yeah, right.
Look, it doesn't pay to trash the guy in front of you.
That's
you could say, look, everybody does it a little different. I've always said, look, there's different level mechanics out there, right? So, there's different level surgeons. Some graduated at the bottom of the class, some graduated at the top of the class, right? So, it's your job to be diligent as a homeowner to try to find the guys that are at the top of the class, or
Yeah, but there's some guys.
right?
There's some guys who fix boilers, and there's some guys who go in and fix those guys who fix the boilers because the first guy didn't know.
as the technician, you're better off keeping your mouth shut most of the time and not say anything about how.
Conversation, break down the wall, get to be comfortable with each other. Talk about things that are apparent in the room, or hey, you got a foosball table. I love foosball.
Be careful though that you're going to have a lot of trust issues, even if you're trying to be friendly, like Kevin says. That oftentimes you'll have a homeowner shadowing you the entire time.
Oh man, breathing on your ear.
yeah, so you really.
Drooling on
You
you.
got to be careful about what comes out of your mouth. You just can't say stupid stuff because
don't get caught with anything.
Yeah,
Not that you're trying to hide anything, but they'll misinterpret it.
Right.
They'll twist it, play a little phone on you.
Whatever it is, you
Telephone
just
and call your office. Oh,
Yeah.
I said that he was just going to rip this piece of shit out of here, and my boiler's not.
And I think I said this on the last one. Never use words like "I think," "I'm not sure," "I don't know," "Never seen this before."
I'm going to have to call my office.
Right. I don't have any idea what's going on here.
What does this part do?
Exactly. Just don't.
I don't know.
There's lots of things you can say to get around losing confidence in the customer. Yeah,
that's a whatchamacallit.
You said before there was water leaking out of their furnace, and it's for those guys out there who don't deal with boilers in other parts of the country. We have boilers and furnaces, and it's, the first thing I used to teach my new guys that came to work for us was that a furnace makes hot air and a boiler makes hot water. And it's amazing looking back that nobody knows that. The homeowners don't know the difference. Everything's a furnace.
Every time.
Most of your older generations are going to call it a furnace.
Yes.
It's just the way it is. Everything's a furnace.
And then how about when you ask them, do you have a furnace or a boiler? And they say, we have gas.
Right. So what do you how do you answer that? Man, you're an idiot.
Well, right. Yeah, that's...
You need me. I'll be there shortly. Just stay in your kitchen. Don't touch anything.
And then when you go back to talk to one of your friends on the phone while you're in the basement trying to fix their boiler or furnace, the water leaking out of their furnace, don't let them hear you tell your
if you're
friend,
going to do that, go back out into the truck. Yeah. Go back into the van and make that call.
Yeah, don't think they're not sitting at the top of the staircase.
No, they're listening to you.
Yeah, they're listening. And you're down there going, oh, man. And you could be talking about something else, but they only hear what they want to hear, right? It's, selective hearing. My guys, I got a young guy comes in, oh, man, that thing, it's a piece of shit, right? Well, they hear piece of shit, like they're
going to hear you. They're going to hear you, especially if they have ductwork in the basement.
Right.
So, these guys, I'm like, dude, you got to watch what you're saying because they're only hearing that one part of that, and that's dangerous, man. Like that's really opening up a can of worms.
Wow, this place could have blew up. Yeah. Imagine.
Yeah.
Well, good. Hey, look, there's nothing wrong. Look, hey, good thing you gave us a call when you did. Yeah. Because it could have been something serious. So, you guys, good thing you were on your game. You compliment them. Tell, hey, man.
Yeah, exactly right.
Take this stuff for granted, but not you. Yep. You're a smart person.
Yeah.
Right? Give them a vote of confidence. You did the right thing here.
That's important. So, always make them feel like they did the right thing.
Yeah. You did the best thing you could have done by hiring me. I just made your life better just being here. Now that I'm in your life.
Right. So, and you got to remember, they don't know what you know. And they not only... We know that you know the difference between a furnace and a boiler, but going way beyond that, they don't know half.
And the most important thing
they do, they try to keep up in conversation.
They want to feel like they can hold the conversation.
So just make sure you don't get to the point where they think you don't know anything. That's a big problem.
Yeah.
If you don't have that confidence level and you don't instill that in them, they're going to want you out of their house sooner than you got there.
I have a customer now that I'm dealing with that's he's a very confident person and he does research online and he's not afraid to Google and he's a very intelligent man. And he finds things out there and he questions me all the time on it.
Yeah.
And he gets it in his head that, this is going to save money. This is going to save time. This is going to do this and this is going to do that. And I'm like, no, you're wrong. I don't have a problem telling him he's wrong because I've built that that confidence with each other where we can do that. But
you can't do that to the average person.
Your first visit or your second visit in someone's home, you don't want to come off blunt. You want to do it lightly and knowledgeably.
Some people appreciate that, but most. That's too much for them, man.
It's hard, and then it's just so many characters out there. Unfortunately, we carry that black cloud over our heads that we're contractors. And a contractor comes in, and he's here for 3 months, and he just screws you over. You never get the job you wanted. And don't hire contractors; they suck.
I'm going to tell you guys a story that happened today, and this is not made up. It's God's honest truth. I had a contractor call me last week.
Testify in the court of law?
Yes, I will testify to this. I had a contractor call me up about a boiler that they installed about 4 or 5 months ago. It was in new construction. The boiler hasn't been fired until recently. This is way up north. And the contractor talked to me about it, and I explained to him what he should do and look for. Today I got a call from the homeowner.
Yeah.
And it was in reference to the same job, but I didn't put 2 and 2 together. Didn't know it was him until he started saying certain things that familiarized me with the job. And I'm like, oh, you're that guy? And he goes, yeah, I'm that guy. He says, well, the last time I got off with the contractor, he was on his way up there to remedy everything. And I kind of gave him a what for. He says, yeah, I tried calling him. He's in jail. Oh man, I haven't been able to get back to me, and I just found that today.
That is a lack of communication.
Yeah. So it's true story. So and I unfortunately I told him, I said, we can't give you advice.
Right.
Well, we can't give you. I said I'm going to have to refer to you another contract. I can't tell you how to fix the boiler. Yeah, unfortunately no. But
companies don't put that kind of money on the side.
When somebody's telling you is we're going to hang a boiler on your wall, but somebody else is going to have to come and start it up and adjust it for you, that might be a good sign. Yeah, you might have to want to spend some more money somewhere else.
Yeah, they might want to be a little bit more diligent about who they're hiring too. Hey, things happen to all of us, but stay out of jail, boys.
Unfortunately,
leave that cocaine alone.
Right. Unfortunately, you can't explain that to the homeowners ahead of time. I mean, this is going to get into price, and that's not where this conversation is going. But
back to personalities.
Yeah.
Homeowners. So I got a homeowner right now I'm dealing with that. We went in, they want a whole house renovation. So this lady calls me up and says, we want a price, we want to do this, we want to do that, we want air conditioning, we want, all this nice stuff and, bells and whistles and Wi-Fi thermostats and all heat pumps and high efficient, blah, blah, blah. So we go up there, we give them a price and it's about an hour away from us. So it's a little bit of drive time. So we calculated that into the job and, job came in over $20,000.
Yeah.
First thing out of her mouth, first thing in the email was, why are you guys so expensive? This is crazy. I could get this job done for less than 10 grand. And there's no way you're getting it done for 10 grand, but good luck finding that guy. And, we're out. See ya.
And again, we don't know these people. It's just somebody just happened to come into.
I have to explain myself. And, so this person then is persistent that we lower our price. And we're like, there's nothing to lower. Like, we're not going to lower our price. I'm holding my ground on this one. You're an hour away.
Yeah.
You want X amount of work done. There's a lot going on here.
Yeah.
We have duct testing to do and blower doors that we have to do, all this other stuff. So there's a lot going on here. Insistent. Well, we're going to hire somebody else. I can't believe that your company with your reputation would do such a thing. I have a reputation because I stand behind what I do.
Right.
And with that comes a value. So that value I gave to you. And you don't want to pay it. Well, I'm sorry, but I don't have to give you a lower price just because. If you want a lower price, go shop around. Go find somebody else. So she tried to do that, and I guess everybody's prices were probably right around ours. So she came back. As soon as we come to an agreement, I want to move forward. Well, come to an agreement on what? Well, as soon as you give me a better price, we'll move forward. And so now it's 2 months.
That means nobody else is willing to work for her.
2 months have gone by. And now she's saying, well, why are you not moving your price? I thought you were going to move your price. No, we never said we were moving our price.
Right.
You keep insisting that we move our price. But now you're mad because it's been 2 months. We guarantee our price for 30 days. And for the most part, we don't have to stick to that. We're flexible. Look, someone gets sick, things happen. Our schedule doesn't work out. We'll honor the price. But with this person, with the BS they're making us run through, we got 6 hours in administrative time just dealing with this lady.
And it's just going to get worse when it's over.
It's just going to get worse when we get on this job, right? So she's like freaking out, like, well, I don't understand. Well, meanwhile, we've had a 6% increase in all our metal across the United States.
Oh, yeah,
because
right.
of,
sure.
All the
Fuel has gone up.
Fuel's gone up. Everything's going up.
Yeah.
Right? Look, the market's growing. Things are beeping. People are working. Things are happening. This is all part of it, right? Inflation goes up, right? So, this lady's like, well, I went online and I found it for X amount of dollars online and blah, 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 blah. That's great. Good.
Yeah.
Now you can go take the webinar and you can go install it yourself. And I'm not warrantying it. Well, why wouldn't you warranty it? Because I didn't buy the equipment. That's part of what we do. We buy it. We register it. We warranty it. If you want to go buy it yourself, put it in yourself.
Yeah, but the underlying thing is, why would you lower your price? If you lower your price, the customer also has to realize, let's say they want a $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 discount. By lowering your number, you are effectively telling that customer you were robbing him for $3,000 or $4,000.
Not necessarily, but the way I tell them, like I told this lady, this is what we've been corresponding back.
Yeah, but that may be the perception they get.
No. I said, what would you like to remove from the job?
Not removing, just lowering your price. That's a whole different kettle of fish.
If you want to lower the number, I could take all the media filters out for you, and I'd save you $600.
I think that's exactly the right way to do it. And in the past, what I've done is
you got to take filter in.
Well, you got to take something away, though. You want to lower the price, then
you got food out of my mouth.
You have to get something from them. Either work on your terms, meaning when you're going to be slow next Tuesday, so that's going to be you're going to work Tuesday and Friday and whatever the next couple of days.
Well, it's just like buying a car. You more stuff, accessories. You're paying more money.
But if you're going to give them some kind of concession, then they have to give you something. either,
She's demanding an explanation for us,
Yeah,
saying that, if I'm going to spend this kind of money with you, I demand an explanation on why you're marking up my material.
how do you deal with that? I mean,
I would just
I
say,
said, there's nothing to explain. If you don't understand how this process works, when you buy a car, do you get it at cost?
right.
When you go get that $60 steak, is that the cost of the steak? I don't think so. There's 16 people touched that steak before you got it.
Right.
It went through a processing plant. Someone had to kill the cow.
Right.
Someone had to package it. Someone had to butcher it. Someone had to drive it. Someone flew it. Someone froze it. Right? Someone had to cook it and prep it. Someone served it to you. You think it's cost?
somebody paid for the insurance for the building for you to sit in that chair. That tablecloth costs money.
Don't get your head out of your asses, man. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
People, look, we make money on our parts, just like Ford or Chevy or anybody else out there that sells you a part. There's profit in there because they have a business to run.
We have to warranty it. You have to
warranty it. I stand behind my product. Right. I give you 1 year in everything we do. If I buy a product, I get the manufacturers and myself. But if you're going to go buy it, I'm not getting involved. Now you just open up a can of worms. You're going to buy it online from some dude that stole it off a truck in Long Island or wherever, and is selling it to you hot out the back of a truck, and and then now I think some of the manufacturers out there are getting smart to this. They're not, especially ones that don't sell their product online, or trying to pay attention to the serial numbers and stuff when people try to register the product, where it came from, and because. It's becoming an issue with
you're right. It is.
Yeah,
some companies
people are stealing stuff, and there's some shady stuff going on out there.
So how did you deal with this customer?
We're dealing with it now. We're still
going on. Yeah, okay.
This is it's a live situation.
This happens all the time, though. I mean, how many times do you go and give somebody a price $12,000 and they complain about somebody else gave them a price for $8,000 and then they go and spend the $8,000?
See their quote.
Right. Well, that's the big thing. Everybody's telling you something.
Yeah. Tell you, well, can you come back and fix it?
Yeah, but the other thing is that, I can get this done for $5,000 less. Show me your quote. Show me your estimate. Show me that we're getting the same thing. Yeah. Show me that we're doing the exact same work, the same equipment, the same accessories. It's not. It never is.
How do you have that conversation with the customer? You can't,
listen, first and foremost, you can't take it personal. It's their job to knock you down, right? Can you do better? I need you to do better. I think the approach of, why are you charging me so much, is the bad approach because it incites conflict. So to teach a customer maybe how to deal with a contractor might be the better approach. Say, listen, is there any way we can do this job cheaper without me losing the accessories you got built in?
Or the quality.
Quality.
Yeah, right.
So go ahead.
I was going to say, to your point a few minutes ago, I had a customer once that I proposed a boiler to, and they weren't ready to do it. It wasn't an emergency thing, so it sat around for a while. And I called the guy back 2 months later, and I said, "Listen, if you can do it next week on Tuesday or something, we'll take $300 off or something." And because I said that, he would never buy from me because my price must have been inflated if I was
able to give away $300.
Right. So now I legitimately had a reason for that because I had an empty space and I had guys with nothing to do. So in my mind, I was willing to make less money. Go ahead.
You can tell them, look, the manufacturer's running a special on the equipment. They're giving me a $300 break, and I can forward that to you. It's an easy answer.
In this case,
you got to be prepared for that.
Yeah, the problem is sometimes you got those people, and shame on the guys who'll drop $4,000 or $5,000, or whatever, because you're showing your hand.
They're just coming in low.
Yeah, you're showing your hand. No, they have no place to go.
Don't know their costs anyway.
They have no place to go.
We're busy, and I don't want to sound like an ass, but when we're busy, I'm not. We're always busy. We have stuff every day.
Yeah, this is supply and demand time,
but there's
right?
a reason that these people are still chasing you, though.
I'm getting my price. I don't want to hear, I get we want to save money. Trust me, I don't want to pay for stuff if I don't have to either. But at the end of the day, I know that if I want a $60 steak, I'm going to get a $60 steak.
Or you'll be coming to my house as usual.
I'm going to Joe's house where we're having,
And by the way, everybody's invited to Joe's house.
Yeah,
that's the place to be to eat.
For a living.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's top secret.
Easy.
But there's a reason those people are chasing you, though. They're insisting that you drop your price, whatever, because nobody else wants to deal with them. That's what's going on.
I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
I don't even want to do this job. I don't care if
I wouldn't do it if I were you.
I'm staying away with a 10-foot pole. Just going to push her away and say, look, we're just not the company for you.
Yeah, this may be that ultimate customer who's going to be on every.
It's already a problem. We didn't even do anything.
Right.
We get 6 hours of labor into text messages and phone calls and emails and everything else, and all she's doing is complaining about how we're overcharging. I didn't even do anything yet, but our reputation's stellar.
Yeah.
But I don't know why you have the audacity to charge me what you're charging.
They don't
You know,
understand
the
our
question to
business.
that is, how much do you make it work?
How much what?
The question you should post her, how much do you get paid where you work?
Right.
And then she'll tell you, or why is that important?
She-
Well, why don't you work for less?
Yeah.
Simple question. Why don't you just work for less? You know, there's other people doing your same job for a whole lot less money. Why don't you take a less pay cut?
People, you know, there's a whole bunch of things going on here. One of the problems is that your competition doesn't know what their costs are. They don't understand what it costs them to do
It's
business.
got to do with
That's
that.
part
There's
of
got
it.
to do with shady guys out there with no insurances.
Right.
This is a pure thing of overhead and a systematic understanding of what it costs to do business. This is what it costs me to do business. These are my numbers. I'm sorry you don't agree with them, but that's what you have a choice
Well, it's
for.
called free market.
Right. You can say,
you don't have to
Mr.
like it."
McCourt, you guys sell a thing. I want you to do my work, but I just can't afford you. That's fine. Don't question how much I charge.
In this case, it's you sticking to your guns on the price. For a technician, a service guy, it's important for them to not apologize for the price too. I mean, they may not know all the cost of why they're charging what they are, but they need to be steadfast on what they're told to charge,
Yeah, I mean,
and not apologize for it.
If someone gets really upset, they got to know how to deflect.
But we're
it back
talking
to,
from a defensive posture, and I think this is where
my
success.
story was defensive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think where we need to address this too. This is a great opportunity to become that much next level company to say, let me explain why we charge this much more money.
Because oil changes are $37.
Right. You know,
Tires are $1,000.
no, you don't have to do that because you're buying my reputation,
well, yeah.
not
Well,
only
yeah,
my
absolutely.
installation.
That's first and foremost.
You're buying me. You're buying
You know what you're getting. because
Exactly.
The 1,000 people before you
exactly.
said that
Look at my
I'm
reviews.
awesome, right?
My reviews
So
are this way because I do business a certain way. I don't rip anybody off. I do nothing but quality installations.
you're getting, and they stand
exactly.
behind the product.
That is worth something.
As a service guy, I think it's also important to realize that the person you're talking to in the house is having a bad day. They've got no heat. Their spouse is yelling at
Especially
them
in those
because it's cold in the
situations, yeah.
house.
Well,
or
nobody
whatever.
cares about your service guy. We're talking about Kevin's customer.
I don't care about that. They're not my customer. There's somebody else.
You can be. When you come back from Barbados, that customer may be looking good. You're going to need the loot.
Trust me, I got enough going on. I don't need aggravation. Fortunately for us, we're in a situation where I don't have to take on every customer. So
Well, that's a good
it's
thing.
it's a good position to be in.
Yeah.
Always be humble and remember where you started.
That's right, baby. No, that's why we're sitting here now.
You know, how about assuming you ever have a technician assume that the customer can afford something or not afford something, or
All
maybe
the
you've
time.
been in that
Yeah,
situation?
I've had that happen, and not necessarily where I am. Well, yes.
Yes, to both of those, probably.
Yes, to both of them.
Yeah.
I got into houses where, big mansion, 6 bedrooms, beautiful cars in the driveway, Olympic-sized pool in the backyard.
Yeah, that's all on a credit
We're
card.
in the basement, and the guy's going, "Oh, screw them. They got the money. Look at the cars in the driveway.
Or the
You see
technician,
this house
right,
we're
yeah.
in?" And it's like, dude, shut up. Like,
Yeah.
But did you look in the dining room? There's no furniture.
Yeah.
Did you look at the beds? They're on the floor. The mattresses are on the floor. There's no furniture in the house. They're tapped.
Yeah.
People are barely hanging on.
Yeah.
They got no money.
By the way, I have yet to see an Olympic swimming pool in somebody's backyard. If you haven't, let me know.
I'll take you to a couple. But
I've been in some monster homes. I've
they
never
got the-
seen that.
but they still got the nanny and the lawn maintenance crew. They got images to keep up, and and it's unfortunate. But you know what? That's the beauty of this country, man. That's a choice.
You don't know what their situation is. You didn't
don't.
know what Big Poppy's situation was.
Well, I didn't know Big Poppy took care of me, man. That's and I took
And you
care
never,
of him, man.
driving down that
we're
block,
tight,
you never
bro.
would have
We're tight.
expected that.
You better stop mentioning this guy's name. We might have to pay him a royalty.
Yeah, so you don't know, and
So you can't assume that they have it, or you can't assume that they don't have it. I think you need to stick to your guns, and whatever your price is, your
I'll give
price
you the
is.
story. It's
And-
not related to HVAC, but it just goes to you don't know, right? So I had this kid working for me, good guy, man. I love him. He came working with me for about 7 years. He got into MMA. Liked to fight and this and that, right? He was not afraid of anybody. Guy was a little pit bull, right? So
Probably wasn't the best guy in the house.
no, he was actually very pleasant to
'Cause,
customers, but he liked to scrap,
Yeah.
He wasn't afraid. He never backed down from a fight. So we would do happy hour and go out and buy him a beer, and we'd sit in the bar, and it was just one local bar that we went to all the time that older crowd, guys that have made their money. They're pretty well off, these guys. Every one of them pretty successful, millions in the bank.
Mm-hmm.
But every Friday they'd get together and they had a nice happy hour and, So there's this one guy, and he was from, I want to say from Sweden. His name was Sven. Big guy, burly guy, right? carpenter. Been on jobs with him years ago when I was doing roofing as a kid. Guy's been around forever. Guy was a professional boxer, heavyweight.
By the way, did you say a Swedish guy's name is Sven?
So this guy, he's a badass, right?
Yeah.
So you don't know it by looking at him. He looks like a washed up dude. He's got long, crazy hair. He's got this beard. He's just got done working. He's, his hands like, just calloused, and he's a tough dude, man. He's been working a long time, But this guy was a heavyweight champ for a while. And he got into some shit in a parking lot and knocked some dude out and almost killed him.
Yeah.
Lost everything. So his whole boxing career went to the wayside at a very young age. So now he's framing houses, right?
Yeah.
And here's this kid going into the bar, the guy that's with me, and he's like, I'll fucking kick. Who's that guy looking at? I'll kick his ass. And, who's the old man? Look at this old man. And I'm like, you don't even know who this dude is, man. I was like, this guy's a heavyweight champ, bro.
Yeah.
Knock you out, not even looking. You can hit him 10 times, he won't even flinch.
Yeah.
This guy will destroy you. And it was like an eye-opener for him because he was just blown away, like, no way. And I'm like, let's go over and talk to him. I know the guy.
Yeah.
So we went over there and talked to him. He was like, holy shit. And I'm like, that's why you got to be careful, man. You don't know who you're talking to. It's like the lady with the guy went in and started talking smack about the install, and it was her brother.
Right.
Oh, my dad and my brother were, you don't know. My neighbor did it, or, I did it myself. What are you insulting me for? So you got to be careful, and just because they have fancy cars in the driveway, man, that doesn't mean shit.
It's the other way around,
That's
too.
$300 a month.
I think the moral of this episode is less is more.
Yeah,
maybe.
But you guys bite your tongue. Keep your emotions to yourself. Don't oh my God, look at this. Oh my God, this house smells like shit. Look at all these cats. You can't do that. You can't be responsive to that. You can't show your emotions. Don't wear it on your sleeve when you walk in the door.
Right. You got to
be neutral.
You got to be neutral. Exactly.
Yeah.
I had a guy once. I was on a
if they like Clinton, you got to go Clinton. If
whatever
they,
it is. Yeah, sure.
Like, if they like Trump, you go Trump. Whatever.
Long time ago early in my career, I went on a sales call with a guy, and he was leading the show, and he proposed this big thing, and it was going to be $40,000 or whatever, and I was sitting there thinking that this is never going to happen because this guy was a little immigrant with the same clothes he was wearing the same clothes that he came off the boat with 30 years ago, and little small house, but
Are you referring to my people?
close to your people? No, just some. I don't know what he was. He was Portuguese or something. But anyway, the point was that we proposed this big thing, and I thought there was no way this guy was ever going to go for this because he just looked like he was living in a shack, and he never bought anything new, and he had holes in his pants.
He had it all rolled up in the coffee
can. What happened was
third tomato plant.
Almost literally what happened. Whatever we were proposing was $40,000, and the guy sat there when we were done, and thought about it, and then left the room, didn't say anything, and he comes back with a shopping bag with $40,000 in the shopping bag.
There you go.
Saving it since you don't ever know who you're talking to.
You know where he lives? Where is it?
Yeah.
I got guys for that.
Yeah, you don't know, and it's you can't take people for granted.
You got to instill confidence. You got to be neutral. You got to
look. I had friends of mine run for political offices, local, nothing big, work in a local Congress or whatever, town supervisor.
Joe can help you out there. He can fix that for you.
Connections. Yeah, he keeps the unions off my sidewalk. So these guys.
Joe was in the garbage business.
They would say like, hey, hey Kev, can I put my sign in front of your house? And I said, man, no. And they're like, what do you mean? And I'm like, dude, I'll support you. I like what you're doing, but I can't put your sign in front of my house.
Exactly.
Because everybody knows who I am in my neighborhood. And if they don't like you, I don't get business. Right? So I'm guilty by association. So, no, I'm not putting your bumper sticker on my car. And people got pissed, but I said, look, man, I got a family to feed. I have a business to run. I have to stay neutral. I have to love everybody all the time. And it might be a sore subject for me that I don't like or a, topic that I don't agree with. And I have my opinions on a lot of stuff. Trust me, I do. But, you have to bite your tongue and stay neutral and say, oh, man,
not just as an owner, but as a technician, too.
When go Patriots, sometimes you got to say those things, and it hurts.
And the last thing, if you think what you're going to say is going to be taken the wrong way or just plain stupid, you're probably right. So err on the side of caution and just don't say it.
Shut your goddamn
That's it.
mouth.
So we're turning it over to Rich, our hostess.
With that, we're out of time again.
We're out.
Yeah.
Hostess.
All right, we're out of time again. So, again, we hope you enjoyed this week's show. If you did, be sure to subscribe to our podcast and tell your friends about us. Don't forget to give us that 5-star rating like we keep talking about if you like what you heard.
Still disarm the jerks.
Give us the 5-star whether you like us or not. We could use it.
Yeah, all that little help.
And like we always say, you can visit us at thehvacjerks.com. And if you have any questions or comments or want Joe to officiate your wedding or something, or you got a special favor.
Yeah, it's not free, though.
We do
it's not free.
bar mitzvahs.
You can email us at theboys@thehvacjerks.com. So don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and we'll see you next week.
Peace.
You guys are jerks.
Follow the HVAC Jerks on Facebook and Instagram.